A dangerous side effect of exercise most people don't know about next.
Act buzzfish sticks from the sea, they cook so tender and flaky. Whip some up for you and me. To pass them up is a big mistakey, yeah.
Big mistakey?
It's a no, guys.
I think it works better as an instrumental anyway.
Hi, I'm Angela Duckworth.
Hi, and I'm Tori Taylor, reporting to you live from the Sports Medicine and Fitness Technology Department at Kaiser University here in Orlando, Florida. Today we're going to talk about a dangerous side effect of exercise that most people don't know about, the female athlete triad. This obviously affects women, but specifically those who participate in sports like gymnastics, ballet, diving, figure skating, runners, track and field, cheerleaders, and female bodybuilders. Basically any sport that favors lean body mass.
To give you a brief history on the triad, about 100 years ago, women were actually excluded from sports, specifically Olympic Games. This changed dramatically after the induction of Title IX, which stated that men's and women's sports should be treated equally. Since Title IX in 1971, there's been a 1,000% increase in the last 40 years in women's participation in sports.
Thanks, Angela. In 1992, the ACSM assembled a task force on women's issues and provided the first definition of the female athlete triad. Initially, the triad was defined as three separate but interrelated entities. Number one, an energy deficiency. Number two, menstrual disturbance or amenorrhea. And three, bone density loss or osteoporosis. Energy deficiency occurs when energy demands of the body are not being met. This happens when an athlete is training intensely and not replenishing the body as it should. In many cases, this is due to eating disorder or habits such as anorexia, nervosa, and bulimia. Some signs of eating disorders include excessive leanness or rapid weight loss, preoccupation with food rituals, and body image, avoiding teen meals or eating secretly, wide fluctuations in weight, fatigue, lightheadedness, dizziness, or signs of depression or low self-esteem.
Basically, every process in the body requires energy. In the case of the triad, the central nervous system, endocrine system, and reproductive systems are all affected. An energy deficiency disrupts all three of these systems and can lead to amenorrhea or a complete lack of a period. There are two types of amenorrhea, primary and secondary. Primary is when a woman hasn't started her period by the age of 16. Secondary is when she doesn't experience a period for over 35-day intervals or has a lack of 3 or more periods. Functional hypothalamic amenorrhea or stress-induced anovulation accounts for over half of secondary amenorrhea. This is when there is a nutrient deficiency, excessive exercise, or stress in the athlete. The body will adapt under these types of stresses, so if it doesn't have enough energy for these systems, it'll shut down that system if it's not required for survival.
Low estrogen levels and other hormonal changes which accompany irregular or absent menstrual periods may predispose females to osteoporosis. This is when there is low bone mass and fragility of the skeleton. Athletes with osteoporosis are more susceptible to injury and fractures. For example, a 20-year-old woman with menses during her critical teenage growth period may have bone mass typical of a 70-year-old woman, predisposing her to stress fractures and other injuries in her life. The triad can age a woman's physiological age by 10 to 20 years. This is a problem especially for female athletes in high-impact sports that increase the risk of injury.
All of these symptoms do not need to be present in order for a woman to be diagnosed with female athlete triad syndrome. The American College of Sports Medicine confirmed in 2007 that the triad happens more on a spectrum, which ranges in energy availability, bone mineral density availability, and menstrual cycle occurrence. According to a study published in the Journal of School Nursing, the prevalence of a full triad is relatively low, accounting for only 1 to 15%. They estimate of a single or any two triad conditions is more commonly found.
When we talk about prevention, the best prevention for the female athlete triad syndrome is awareness. Early recognition of warning signs and symptoms is vital to preventing long-term injuries or effects of the female athlete triad syndrome. Treatment of the triad often requires intervention via team approach, and these may include physicians, nutritionists, psychologists, support from family and friends, teammates, coaches. It may be also beneficial for school nurses to team up with coaches and athletic trainers and parents on a proactive approach to preventing this syndrome.